employer branding and social media outreach. What do we mean by this? Claudio Cocorocchia joins me in the studio right now to discuss. Claudio, welcome to the studio.
Thank you, Monica.
Now, first of all, perhaps you can start off by telling us, from your point of view, how banks and other financial institutions, companies, etc., are really using social media at present.
Sure. Just to start off, I mean, it's important to understand that if you look at the main objective of marketing and branding, the goal is to have create a rapport with the customer and a good relationship with the customer. So social media and digital media in general has allowed that to be much easier.
But with all that in mind, what three things, if we can narrow it down to three things, should banks really consider when looking at social media and trying to implement it?
Okay, I think the first thing is plan. Ensure that you really know what you're doing and that you plan ahead and plan well. You have to be 100% committed before you really start doing anything in social media. It's the kind of marketing channel where it's very easily to get lost in, and where you don't maintain it enough, it can backfire on you and actually be negative for your brand. So that's one thing that you need to do. Another thing that I think that a lot of companies should be doing more of is the strongest digital campaigns come from the heart of the organization. So that means that you get senior management involved in engaging with customers. You get the CEO involved. So if you do a major PR release, you can also have sort of an hour session where clients or customers or even journalists can connect and engage directly with the CEO. Those types of things work really well. When you have real employees who are involved in social media and engaging with customers, then it does wonders for your brand. I think those are the types of campaigns that are the most successful. And I think another thing that I tend to try and convince clients to do is to link their corporate social responsibility initiatives directly with social media. They should use social media really to communicate on a lot of their corporate social media. If they're sponsoring a run, or if they're doing something in the local community, it's a way of sharing content around what they're doing, pictures, videos, and that's the kind of stuff that works really well on social media. So, integrating those two things, I think, is key.
Excellent. I mean, as you say, you can't really just put a veil up and say that be visible on these things. You have to really get into it and participate.
Content is key. It's telling a story with that content, yeah.
Indeed. So with that in mind as well, if we look at the reverse side of the coin, which top three things should they really avoid doing?
Well, one thing that they should, there is let's say a kind of an approach where companies feel like the necessity to push their products and services. Sometimes they treat social media just like an online channel or a TV channel or anything where they just communicate their products and services to customers. That's very risky. The second thing is, do not underestimate the number of resources that you will need to properly manage social media campaigns. The third thing, which is in general, I think it's a new marketing trend and something that is very applicable to social media, is you have to build agility in your marketing and also in your senior management. Particularly in the financial industry, where it's very regulated, you have to be very careful about what content you post. So you have to have a very fast and very slick approval process for getting that content out there with legal and risk. And you have to ensure that you have a good pipeline and roadmap of content that is continually coming. So you need a good, effective process that's very agile in getting that content out there and approved. And also crisis management. If something happens that's really bad with social media, an employee posts something wrong or aggravates a customer, you need to have a good pull-out plan. And you need to react very quickly to changing conditions and take advantage of perhaps interesting events that are happening in the marketplace and be able to react very quickly. So agility is key. So you have to have that built into your team.
Well, it does seem like the more that you put into it, the more you put out, and it can be hugely effective in that sense. But thank you so much, Claudio, for coming in and sharing your insights with us today. It's been a pleasure.
Pleasure's mine.
Thank you. Okay, well that's all from Claudio and myself for the moment, but make sure you keep clicking back to Dukascopy TV for much more of the same. See you next time.